Hi students, now let me continue the next topic, osmoregulation in elasmobranchs. Osmoregulation in elasmobranchs. Elasmobranchs means the sharks. Sharks, you know, they are a type of fishes, commonly found both the freshwater as well as marine water. So here first we need to know the osmoregulation in marine elasmobranchs. Marine elasmobranchs, the sharks which are living in sea and oceans. So here in marine elasmobranchs, these fishes retain urea and trimethylamine oxide. Urea and trimethylamine oxide. So they are a type of amino acids. They retain in the body. So particularly in the blood and body fluids. Blood and body fluids. So hence, so the concentration of the body fluid increases. Concentration of the body fluid increases. So hence, no osmosis takes place. What is osmosis? The movement of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. So here, as the fishes retain urea and trimethylamine oxide in the blood and body fluids, so no osmosis takes place. No osmosis takes place. So as the concentration of the body fluid increases, no osmosis takes place. As concentration of the body fluid as well as the external medium, so that is marine water, is become same. So no osmosis takes place here. Anyhow, no gain and loss of water occurs here. No gain and water loss occurs here. Anyhow, they gain water through diffusion. In case of requirement, they gain the water through the diffusion, and also by eating salt-rich marine food. So they gain the water through diffusion and as well as by eating the salt-rich marine food. Salt-rich marine food. Okay. And here, so when the water enters in the body by diffusion and also by eating the salt-rich food, so the salt concentration in the body increases. So here this excess of salt secreted by a type of glands, so called as rectal glands. Rectal glands. Okay. So here in the excretion, the kidney is glandular. So hence unable to remove the salts. So as the kidneys are glandular, so they are unable to excrete the salts. So they can remove the isotonic urine. So means isotonic urine means dilute urine. Okay. So here, as it's in case of freshwater TBOs as well as marine water TBOs. So here, no chloride secretory cells. So chloride secretory cells are absent. So hence, the kidneys reabsorb water from the urine. So kidneys reabsorbs water from the urine. This is one mechanism of water conservation. So kidneys are glandular, unable to remove the salts. They can secrete the isotonic urine or dilute urine. So kidneys reabsorb the water from the urine. So body fluids becomes isotonic. When the water reabsorbed from the urine, so the water becomes so here, so the constant condition occurs. So this prevents osmotic dehydration. So dehydration means loss of water. As the water reabsorbed from the urine, so normal level is maintained. So that prevents the osmotic dehydration. So this is how the osmoregulation maintained in the marine elasmobranchs. Now let's go to the osmoregulation in freshwater elasmobranchs. So here the freshwater elasmobranchs which are descended from the marine crystals. So freshwater elasmobranchs, they are not separate linearly. So they are descended from the marine crystals. So here examples are the Pristis and Cancarius. Pristis, Calcareous, Gazeticus, these are the two important examples for the freshwater elasmobranchs. So here they retain urea as well as body fluids. So the freshwater elasmobranchs they can retain the urea as well as body fluids. So hence it becomes hypertonic. So body concentration of the body fluid is hypertonic, highly concentrated. So and the freshwater is hypotonic. As you all know already, so the concentration of the body fluid is hypertonic. So higher concentrated. Whereas concentration of the external medium, that is freshwater, is hypotonic. So lower concentration. So hence, as well as the concentration of the body fluid is higher and concentration of the external medium, that is freshwater, is lower. So automatically the water enters into the body. So that process is called endosmosis. The water enters into the body by a process called endosmosis. Okay. And here the remaining mechanism. So remaining mechanism is same as that of freshwater teleost. So as we already studied the osmoregulation in freshwater teleost, where the concentration of the body fluid is higher. Concentration of the external medium is higher, water enters into the body by endosmosis. As the water enters into the body, the salt concentration increases and excess of salts which are secreted by the chloride secretory cells. Chloride secretory cells. So these chloride secretory cells which are present in freshwater teleost, not in marine water teleost. So here excess of salts which are excreted out by chloride secretory cells. So this is the osmoregulation maintained in the freshwater elasmobranchs, freshwater sharks, and the kidneys particularly. So remove large amount of dilute urine. The kidneys excrete large amount of dilute urine. So it means they are able to remove only dilute urine, not concentrated urine. So this is how the osmoregulation maintained in the freshwater elasmobranchs, means the shark. Okay. Action. Now the last topic of this chapter, that is osmoregulation in kangaroo rat and camel. So osmoregulation in kangaroo rat and camel. So how in kangaroo rat and camel osmoregulation is maintained? So here you know very well, kangaroo rat and camel, so both of them are terrestrial animals and mainly live in raised conditions, hot raised conditions. Okay. So where the scarcity of water, where there is a lot of scarcity of water. So here particularly the kangaroo rat and camel, they have special means of conservation of water. Both of them, they should have special means of conservation of water. So how they have special means of conservation of water? As they live in hottest as well as driest regions, particularly. So the kangaroo rat lives in hottest and driest regions of southwestern United States. So mainly kangaroo rat mainly eats dry seeds and never drink water. They eat only dry seeds and never drinks water. And here, how they get the water? So the metabolism of the fat-rich food which gives the water, that water is utilized in the body. So that is how they get the water from the metabolism of the fat-rich food. So that's why they eat only dry seeds and do not drink the water. So next, the absence of sweat glands. So already we discussed this topic earlier. Absence of sweat glands. So sweat glands are absent. If the sweat glands are present, what happens? The sweating occurs. If the sweating occurs, then again they require the water. So that's why to avoid this, so sweat glands are absent. So next, they remain cool in burrows. So most of the desert animals, they burrowing animals. So they live in only burrows. So that's why they remain cool in burrows during daytime, particularly, and minimize the loss of moisture in lungs. That is how they minimize the loss of water in the lungs, as they mainly live in the burrows. Burrows of 1 meter depth. produce what you call and excrete concentrated urine. They produce and excrete concentrated urine. So for this purpose, they should have efficient kidneys. They have efficient kidneys and they are able to excrete the concentrated urine as well as the feces. And then the presence of epidermal keratin. So in the skin, a substance is present that is called keratin. So this prevents evaporation of water. So keratin is a type of substance present in the skin, the epidermal keratin. So this prevents the evaporation of water. So that is the water is conserved. Okay. Then production of hyperosmotic urine. So production of hyperosmotic urine. So production of highly concentrated urine and also excretion. So particularly that is carried by nephron, particularly endless loop of nephron. So nephron is a structural functional unit of kidneys, and the endless loop of nephron so able to production of hyperosmotic urine, excretion of hyperosmotic means highly concentrated urine by endless loop of nephron. Okay, then reabsorption of water from the fecus and minimal fecus. This is seen both in kangaroo rat as well as the camel. So before fecus is excreted, the water, even the fecus also contains some amount of water. So that water also reabsorbed before it is excreted. So that is reabsorption of water from the fecus and the minimal use of thermoregulatory mechanism. So this mechanism is adjusted, adopted in both in kangaroo rat as well as camel. So thermoregulatory mechanism is used only at extreme conditions. Extreme conditions. So not always. Only in extreme conditions thermoregulatory mechanism is used. Not always. So that is also one of the conservation methods of water. So then also let's discuss about the osmoregulation in camel. So camel, this is the desert mammal, okay, and somewhat larger animal. And what is the ability of this camel? So this can go for long time without water. Once it drinks the water to its capacity, this can go without water for a long time. That is the ability of this animal. And here another important feature of this camel is ability to withstand extreme dehydration. Ability to withstand extreme dehydration. So it can tolerate a greater dehydration. So this can able to withstand the 40% of water loss of its body fluids. So still revive. Even 40% of the water of its body lost, it can survive. But man is for 20% of water lost. So that is the ability of the camel. So one of the important feature of camels survive in the desert condition. Next, dehydration. Actually, generally during dehydration, so camel appears like a thin. So as the scarcity in desert areas, once they drink the water to its capacity, so they can go with a long period without water. So within the days, so the amount of water decreases in the body. Okay, so then as the water consumed, so they become thin, look appears very weak, and even they has it their what you call starved. Starved means so they without starved means they underwent starvation. They look like they underwent starvation as the water decreases in the body. But they look very weak. So when they drink the water and they get the fluids, so body size and other activities come to normal. And body size will return to the normal level. So immediately after get the water and as well as body fluids. Okay, and very well. So what camel has one storage mechanism, that is the presence of the ruminants, presence of rumen cells in the belly region, but particularly at the stomach region, it has a storage mechanism. So it can store the water for a long time. So it is called a hump. So at the hump region, so it can store the water for a long time. So that is also another important mechanism. As well, same as that of kangaroo rat. So the water is reabsorbed from the fecus, and another one is so they are use the thermoregulatory mechanism only at extreme conditions, not always. So this is how the osmoregulation is maintained in the kangaroo lab as well as the camel.